Welcome back. We now turn to an issue that a lot of us thought was just in the Rust Belt of America. We've all heard about the drinking water problems in Flint, Michigan, but it is not just about an issue in the Midwest. In our area, many places, it turns out, are dealing with health concerns in their own water supplies. Newark, New Jersey, they recently handed out 40,000 water filters that after concerns were raised about tap water. A new study showed even the treatment plants, they're having difficulty keeping lead out of the water. And in New York City, lead contamination, it's been a problem in drinking fountains in public schools and also in public housing. In New England, a Boston-based conservation group says those states need to do a lot more to keep chemicals from the water supply. They say several towns have been contaminated, and the states, they need to work together to deal with a very real problem. That then brings us to Newburgh, New York. It is a city about 60 miles up the Hudson River from New York City. And our own Dominic Carter, he's been following the troubles there and what is being done to deal with it.
Oprah Wolf lives in Newburgh. She says it's not just about clean water for her family, but for generations to come. How frustrated have you been over the last 2.5 years?
Extremely frustrated. And the biggest frustration has been around the lack of information and communication from the government agencies who we believe are supposed to be protecting us and who are also in this case responsible for the pollution.
The source of the contamination has been a toxic chemical known as PFOS, which found in tap water, health experts say can cause cancer and developmental delays. PFOS is in a firefighting foam used by the Air National Guard at Stewart Air Force Base, which is effective at putting out hot jet fuel fires. The Department of Defense recently met with community residents and will now install a filter system.
This is a quick fix to stop the pollution leaving the base, and that's important.
Residents are worried whether the filter system will completely get the job done, and they want full transparency. Wolf is a member of the Newburgh Clean Water Project. Have you and your husband been afraid to use your water at home?
Well, I started to understand that something was wrong with the water just shortly before the news came out. So we bought a home filter just a few months before the state of emergency was called. I felt it very strongly in my body. And, you know, there's a lot of concern because there's a lot of people in the city of Newburgh who can't afford to go out and buy a filter.
Senator Schumer has been a strong advocate on this issue and released this statement. I'm so pleased that after years of foot dragging, the Department of Defense and Air National Guard are moving in a positive direction. No resident of Newburgh should have to worry that they will be harmed by the water they drink, nor should contaminated water continue flowing off base over 2 years since its discovery. Residents say they don't want a Band-Aid approach.
You know, the state agencies and the Department of Defense and Air National Guard need to clean up the ground on that base. Otherwise, those chemicals will keep leaching into our water over time.
So it's possible, conceivable, that they might be able to solve the problem?
This will still be an interim step. It's important to understand this is supposed to be the quick fix that we asked for 2.5 years ago. We still need a long-term comprehensive cleanup.
Newburgh's water supply has been closed and unusable. Instead, Newburgh uses the city of New York's water at a cost of $170,000 a month.
Thank you, Dominic. We'll be right back to wrap things up.